It's good for breakfast.
Wow. It's just breakfast in a cup. Welcome to Bourbon Idiots, the podcast that ditches the snobby talk to tell you if this stuff is worth your time and money. We're your hosts, Phil and Jeremy, and today we are tasting RD1, multiple bourbons from RD1 in Lexington, Kentucky. Yeah, this place was cool. So when we went down, as like an old factory, right?
Right. It wasn't their location. They had a space in an old factory that was divided up into retail spaces. It was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I thought it was.
It was neat. And this RD1 was actually on the back of it.
And yeah, that's where our, not introduction, what's it called?
Yeah, that was after we'd been to RD1 and another place that had the pizza and everything. So we'd had a couple drinks. And then our wives just convinced us to go skipping. So this RD1 is, it used to be called what, TAR with two R's, TARR? Because they had a display case.
It was a family run. Yeah, TARR.
And then they just recent, I think 2020, they said they changed their name to RD1, Registered Distillery 1. So they're, I got it on the shirt. I should just read my shirt. Registered Distillery 1, Lexington, Kentucky. In 1865, Ashland Distillery became the first federally registered distillery in Lexington, Kentucky, and was assigned the distinction of RD1. Later renamed to William Tarr with two R's Distillery, it was a powerhouse producer in the state until Prohibition. They've got 4 we're trying. The first one, we'll start right with the first one. It's the blue label. It's just their straight bourbon whiskey. 98 proof. And it's, I mean, just straight bourbon whiskey is what it's called. No other. And there's no age statement on any of these.
So that means at least 2 years.
Right. Has to be for bourbon because they're all called bourbon and not whiskey.
Right. So all of their product starts with the same mash bill, regular old bourbon, and then we'll get on what they do to each of the other distinct flavors. It's a cool process, and it's patented. Pending.
They said
like
they
that.
patented parts of it. So we're less than 5 minutes in and we're already tasting because we got a lot to go through. But yeah, it's just as good.
It's very smooth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not.
I don't get anything crazy off the nose. It's just nothing really stands out.
Yeah, you don't get awed by any note or flavor. It's just a very smooth bourbon.
It's like, no, it's not. Yeah. Nothing jumps out. I can't say it's woody. I can't say it's fruity. It's just, it's a good base.
Yep.
For sure. And it's, yeah, nothing stands out. You said it perfectly. Tasted them in order of Caleb was the gentleman. He was awesome. Yep. And dealt with our tomfoolery and our dumb questions and was very patient with us. We have barrels on the table here if you're watching on YouTube. Very accommodating. Caleb was awesome. Second one, the red label, is the French oak finish. So they take the blue and then they start adding woods for secondary aging. This is the French oak finish. 101 proof, so I don't know how it ends up a little bit hotter than the original unless they're proofing the blue down.
They could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because by putting the French oak staves in the barrel to let it age a little bit longer, it's really not going to increase the alcohol content that much.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit if you did it for 2 years, but they're not doing it for 2 years.
No. French oak finish. And he did mention with the French oak, they have to taste it often because it'll just turn at some point.
He said the French oak will ruin a barrel of bourbon quickly. It'll make it sour. Sours it, spoils it.
Oh, I was talked about the pairing. So when we did the tasting, they paired the first one with a raisin. So they had a little raisin there. Supposed to drink the bourbon. I mean, whatever. I just tasted raisin. It didn't do anything. I mean, this one they had a little piece of chocolate there because it's supposed to contrast, I think, the vanilla that French oak gives you. But again, I don't get anything off the nose.
There is a hint of vanilla. I remember that from the first. Here we don't have a very big.
Well, they had little plastic cups like this too at the sampling, didn't they?
Right. No, but I'm talking about when we did it at the house.
Oh, okay. After the fact.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of little bit of wood there.
If you like French oak, you'll really like this bourbon.
Oh yeah.
It's really good. I mean, all their products are good, but
it's a good balance.
Yeah.
Because they do Makers French oak, and it's really forward. It's a really forward. Like, it doesn't taste like Makers anymore. This is just It's there. It comes up and it comes down.
Right.
It finishes clean, finishes smooth. A little bit of spices on the back end, but yeah, vanilla forward. And I was actually seeking out, like, I was getting ready for the podcast. I've started reading about bourbon, like what should we be tasting? Because I don't. And I kept reading French oak vanilla, French oak vanilla. You do get a little bit of it, and a little bit of spices, but it's not wallop you over the head. It's nothing crazy.
Right.
And then pairing that with a chocolate, it does make sense.
Yeah, and we shopped for bourbon, and I've seen this stuff on the shelf. Never heard of it. Never tried it. While we were down in Frankfurt, we were looking for a route to take to hit different distilleries, and I seen RD1. I was like, hey, you can bottle your own bottle there. Let's make an appointment. Made an appointment. When we get there, I asked him about the barrels because you couldn't do it on the site. It said no appointments available. So he immediately said, yep, we'll be happy to do that for you. Like Jeremy said, the man, very accommodating, the whole crew, you know. Mm-hmm. We got to meet their...
yeah, who was the gentleman with the glasses and the beard?
The big beard. He's the one that goes all around. Like, they're not in every state.
Their ambassador, would you say?
Yeah, their ambassador. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. He's like, if you go to their website and watch he's in the videos. And we walked in and he was sitting there on the couch on his phone, just like Phil said, it was weird that we tried to sign up on the website. You can sign up for different things, like fill your own bottle, like you thief from the barrel and fill your own bottle. Phil really wanted a barrel, but all the barrel appointments were taken. We walked in there and nobody else was in there. Right. It was empty. So he asked Caleb, like, hey, can we do the barrel thing? And he's like, yeah, sure. And they had a whole like a bookshelf with barrels on them.
Yep.
Yeah. And he talked me into it.
And these are 3-liter barrels, which we'll get on that topic later.
Yeah.
But
so the next one, the green label, Amburana. It's a Brazilian wood. This is the highest proof. It's 110 proof. They paired this with, like, they had a little wooden spoon with honey on it. I want to preface this. If you Google or internet search Amburana whiskey, there is so much hate on the internet for Amburana whiskey. I don't know what it is about, say, the professional reviewers or the tasters. They hate on Amburana. I don't know if it's because the other companies are overdoing it. These guys have a patented process, like Phil said. When you go and visit them, you can see it. Imagine Scrabble tiles, but maybe 1.5 or 2 inch big.
yeah, just a little bit bigger. Yeah,
a little bigger than regular Scrabble tiles, and just a whole chain of them on a piece of cable, 2-3 feet long. So you're increasing the surface area. That all those tiles are made of this Brazilian Amburana wood, and then they put that in the barrel. Right. So you don't have to age as long. You don't have to instead of like a stave. A stave is just like, if you're watching, a stave is just a piece of a barrel, like one of the slats on a barrel. So when they say they've stuck a stave in, it's like a rod of wood. These guys figured it out, increase the surface area, get more time out of it. They figured out the timing right, because this is awesome. I don't understand the hate for Amburana on the internet.
It's not a graham cracker. It's, I want to call it Teddy Grahams. But that's like the flavor you get, the aftertaste, you know?
They had a piece of Amburana wood, and it had a bunch of holes drilled in it. It looked like a honeycomb, and I think that's just to increase the smell. But like you and Rebecca said, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
This wood smells awesome. I got more of a Golden Grams. Like, it smelled like sticking my face into a bowl of Golden Grams. Just graham cracker, just a great smell of the wood, and then it does carry through on the finish on the whiskey. Bourbon, sorry.
Yeah.
God damn,
it's cereal. It's good for breakfast.
Oh yeah, graham. It makes sense that when they paired this with a little spoon of honey.
Yeah, you get the burn from the proof, you know, so you know you're drinking something that's regular than or higher than standard proof. You know, it's not a 94 proof or 98 proof.
Right.
It's 110. Got a little bit of a bite to it, but very tasty.
So good. It is, and I said it when we tried this, because Phil just said, we've seen this in the store, and it's on the bottom shelf a lot.
Yeah.
And it is criminal that these guys aren't getting more. I saw another, if you go to RD1 website, they link to another bourbon podcast, and the title of the episode is "Keep This Bourbon a Secret," because I think he doesn't want it to become scarce. But
That's the group out of Michigan?
Yeah.
Right.
I disagree. These guys deserve all the sales. This deserves to be sold out. Oh god, it's so good.
It is. It's smooth. Like I said, you got that cereal taste. Can't say just cereal. It's got to be a graham type.
It's
not the cinnamon, but a graham cracker, like Jeremy said.
Yeah, grains and graham cracker, and that lingers for a while and then finishes clean. But
So what's the stuff you use? Graham crackers for a crust, for like a pie or
yeah,
cake.
graham cracker crust. As soon as we tasted that, I fell in love with this.
Yeah. I'm gonna mix that with ice cream.
Oh, for sure. That'd be so good. Okay, and the last one, the brown label, is double finished in oak and maple. And they actually said, so picture that string of Scrabble tiles that I mentioned before. I think they didn't say, I think that's oak tiles for this one, but they actually drizzle pure maple syrup on it,
Right.
let it harden, and then dip that into the barrel. So
I think they baked it on.
oh, yeah.
Didn't they bake it on?
Yeah, baked or kilned or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that they're putting that in to get the maple and the oak. And there's a reason why they had us do this one last. And they paired it with a little pecan, which I didn't get much. 99.9 proof, it's what it says. So it's just a little hotter than the regular at 98. Very maple forward on the nose. Just all I get is maple syrup.
And the palate.
Like if you like Angel's Envy, you would like this. Wow.
Yeah, I think this is better than Angel's Envy.
Oh, I agree with you. But if you like Angel's Envy, this is not a big leap.
Right. And you have to like maple syrup.
It's like eating a pancake.
Yeah.
It's a punch in the face of like a delay. Like you drink it, and about a second and a half later.
I'm done walking around. I still have maple in my mouth. You know what I mean? That flavor lingers.
Yeah, we did the tasting, and then we were doing the other stuff, and you still had that maple flavor you said in your mouth.
Yep.
So there's a reason why they do this last, because it just overpowers everything. It's pure French toast, pancake, just breakfast in a cup. More so than the Amburana, where the Amburana is just like a cereal, like graham cracker. This is bacon, pancakes, like you're at Denny's.
Oh, there's an idea. I'm going to take this and marinate in my bacon and then put it on my grill.
Oh, shit, that's a good idea.
Ooh, maple bacon. So I just made comment about soaking some bacon in that and then smoking it on the grill. I'll have to share.
It's such a maple. It's a grenade. Like you taste it, give it like 2 seconds. Just maple. Just breakfast, pure breakfast. So MSRPs on these. So I went to the website of our local liquor store, and these were the blue one, like the plain Jane bourbon was listed for $60. Well, these are if you're watching on YouTube, these are 350 milliliter. They came in a gift pack. So the gift pack is those three, which is a great buy section. But a normal 750 milliliter bottle, the blue one is $60 at our local liquor store, and the other three are all 70, and they go on varying sales. Like they're listed 70 for each. Right now, like the red one's on sale for 60, whatever. The gift set is 200 milliliters each. Amburana all day long, I would buy that for 70 or 60.
Right.
Just no question.
I've gone through a few bottles.
Have you really already?
Yeah. I drink more than you do, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. The maple, I don't know if I'd buy a 750 of the maple. That's a lot.
Yeah, see, you drink a little bit when you come home after work or whatever, chill. I drink, but then Rebecca drinks because the wife likes bourbon. And then we have other friends that like to drink. And then we tend to drink when we're drinking bourbon, but I try to share knowledge and let them experience some other stuff. And same with Jeremy and I, if we run into something new, if we can get 2 bottles, great, we get 2 bottles. If we can only get one, we share it, you know?
Yeah. The French oak is good. I would, if my opinion, I would rate Amburana's number 2. Amburana is number 1. French oak is number 2. I'd probably tie the other 2.
Okay, wait. I thought you were French oak. You like French oak.
I do, but I love this Amburana. Yeah. Like I
had it same rating. Amburana. I'm not a huge French oak fan, but for this, it's not overpowering. You can tell it's bourbon. It's got a hint of that French oak flavors. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like you just bought a barrel of whiskey that somebody put in a French oak a wine barrel and aged. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just smooth, good. There's a hint of every flavor for each of these, just enough to keep you going and wanting more. The maple is, like Jeremy said, kind of overpowering.
Yeah.
It's not like real sweet. You know, you're not tasting like you're drinking straight maple syrup. But that was the last one we did, and I still have the taste of maple in my mouth.
Like I'm going to be drinking some water.
Right.
Before we move on to the bonus content, as we'll call it. So, I mean, Bourbon Idiots here, we don't give scores because we don't do math. We just do yes, no, maybes. One purely on the juice and then one factoring the squeeze. There's not a secondary market on this. So there's really not a difference in the squeeze. You're looking at 60, 70 retail. It's on the shelf all the time.
Yeah, if you want to try a different flavor, this is a great route to take.
Yeah.
You know?
If you're a beginner, like a lot of beginners start at Angel's Envy because it's not too forward in wood or anything that you're not already accustomed to with other things. So like if you go to places and you start a beginner flight, you're just like Angel's Envy and like Woodford and maybe
Hazel Baden.
Yeah. Basil Hayden. Yeah.
Basil Hayden. There you go.
But Angel's Envy is kind of sweet. If you're a beginner, yeah, the maple is definitely an easy jumping on point. But the Amburana, don't listen. Please, for the love of God, don't listen to the internet. These guys did it right. I don't know if it's the time or the process. This Amburana is fucking fantastic.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So I would say, I mean, factor in the price. Yes to both. Like, there's not a secondary. There's not like a hunt for this stuff. If you see this, it's criminal if you don't try it. For other stuff that's the same, like $60, $70, right. For sure. Like these guys deserve all the credit. They figured it out. It's not crazy. You could easily invite people over and have a bottle, and it's not like super floral or super woody. It's good shit.
Yeah, there's no like bitterness from the oak. It's not oak overpowered. It's only aged 2 years. And they're really smooth. They're all drinkable, very, very good on your palate. All of them.
Yeah, these guys figured out the secondary aging process. And where we visited, like Phil said, was like a makeshift place. They're building a whole giant facility on the river. Or like, I don't know Frankfurt. Like, they had pictures of this thing they're building.
Yeah. They had pictures. They're going to have their own still in there. You know, big, huge still. You know, it's supposed to be like their center attraction. A food court, all kinds of stuff. So they're putting a lot of money into this. Yeah, this. And I'm looking forward to going down again.
I would 100% go back.
As soon as that's ready, I'd like to make that trip, you know.
They had like architectural drawings of where they're going to be set up. And like, I don't know Frankfurt. I don't know if parking or access is, but the drawings look great. And the way they're having it set up, like it's not just going to be what they have now. There was just whiskey. Like there was no food, there was no, right. But they had, you know, I have the shirt on, they have merch, but they're going to make it like you could probably spend a Saturday there.
Oh yeah. We could have spent more time there eating and carrying on.
Yeah. If they had food and yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of other stuff they had and carrying on, like Phil said, we were going to fill a bottle and instead we did barrels. And when you do the barrel, because there's 3-liter barrels, as Phil mentioned, you pick any 3 bottles they have and you can do a blend. And Caleb was super patient. It's like,
yeah, we spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, we did.
He was doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, based on our suggestion, what we wanted to taste. We tasted how it was, other than the aging part being in the barrel. Mm-hmm. These are the blend of the 3 flavors you chose. Is it something you're interested in putting in a barrel to age, you know? And nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. So he just kept going. And thankfully, you know, I appreciate that from them. You know, they took the time out to get us what we wanted.
100%. You know? Because you get to pick 3 barrels or 3 bottles to dump in your barrel. And let's do 1, 1, and 1. I did the maple, the Amburana, and the French oak. And he indulged me. Yeah. That's the first thing I tried. I'm like, let's do one of each and see what it takes. Yep. And he indulged me, but he knew, he flat out said the maple overpowers everything.
It did.
So he did like, he was like a scientist, like with you without your lab coat. Like he measured out specifically like equal portions of each into a little cup, had me taste it. It all tasted like maple. So he indulged us. We tried different mixes, and he recommended the one that people come back the most and refill was, I think, your mix, the 2 Amburana and 1 French. And then I, like Phil said, being with me being a fan of French oak, I did 2 French and 1 Amburana. So that's what we have here. And then we dumped them into our barrels.
Yep.
We got some video of that, of us dumping 6 bottles of bourbon into 2 barrels. So I took a sample of it before it, like the same day we dumped it into the barrels, I took a sample of it, and I have FFB marked on here for like French, Brazilian, because of the Amburana.
Yeah, my bottles were in my garage, and I left without bringing them. And I'm like, shit. But
so this is 2 French, 1 Amburana, and I'm actually I'm glad I did something different than yours. So we have some, but yeah, I do really like the Amburana. So these are not aged. This is basically, we dumped into the barrel, and then I took a sample.
and see, I really like it, and I'm not a French oak fan. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I'll drink it, but if I got a choice between a French oak bottle, and I can't remember, it's not Penelope, but anyhow, you got these manufacturers that sell French oak.
Like for
Bourbons.
furniture, even.
Yeah, bourbons, and like I'll pass them up because I'm just not a big fan, you know. But his mixture being 2 French oak and 1 Amburana, it's just really good. I don't know, I kind of speechless, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this one,
You taste the French oak and you get a hint of the Amburana. It's not
get a little bit of
overpowering
the
like the
gram.
maple was in the little sampling we had.
right.
It's just really good.
So this one, I dumped it into an Eagle Rare bottle. It's not Eagle Rare. After being in the barrel for 30 days, and we tried to be. You got real scientific with this shit. Like, you were putting your barrel by the window, like in the wintertime? What were you doing with?
I put it out in the garage where it was cold, like during the nighttime, and then during the daytime, I put it upstairs where it got real hot, and I just kept moving it every day. And, well, actually, like twice a day, you know.
Twice a day? You were moving
'cause
your
I figured
barrel?
it's a small barrel. It's going to acclimate faster than a big barrel.
That's
You know what I mean?
They told us about that. With it being a smaller barrel, it's going to age faster.
Right.
He did mention that to us.
So, yeah, it got cold, 40-some degrees, like 45. I wouldn't let it drop below 40-something because we learned at Buffalo Trace Distillery that it stops, the pores in an oak barrel stop opening and closing when it gets down to a certain temperature. So I don't let it get too cold. But I had it at like 70, 80 degrees, down to like 45. Yeah.
Phil was stressing his barrel. So this one it's been in the barrel for 30 days with the char. Oh,
yeah, and you got a hint. You got the oakiness.
Yeah. And they mentioned these barrels that you can buy from them. There's 3 stages of char, like 1, 2, or 3.
These are heavy.
3.
Right?
Yeah, this is
heavy
the most char you can do. So you get all of that char, all of that oak.
Yeah, and when you empty your barrel out, you do get chunks of
Charcoal.
which is pretty cool.
So, yeah, even when we bought them, because they keep them filled with water, you have to do that.
So it stays swollen.
Right.
Doesn't dry out. Right.
A barrel will dry out, the staves will shrink, and it'll just get loose. So they keep them on the shelves filled with water. When he was dumping the water, I don't know which one, like a big chunk, like a sliver of charcoal, tried to sneak out. And he pushed, you get back in there. He pushed it back in, which was awesome. Wow. It's different.
Yeah, you got the oakiness, and you can tell it's a French oak. You lose a little bit of the Amburana.
I agree. I don't get as much of the graham cracker.
Right.
So your mix is better aged in the barrel because you need that.
I'm not saying it's better.
I do.
I like this.
Oh, I'm not saying this is bad. I appreciate you not trying to hurt my feelings or anything. But I did 2 French, 1 Amburana because I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. And he did 2.
It's sweet.
It is, but not maple sweet.
No. Nothing to do with the maple, but it's like the French oak and the oak being in the barrel, being aged longer in a barrel, sweetened it up some. I mean, the big takeoff from the controlled sample of here's our mixture before we put it into the barrel and the aging of the barrel. This has more Amburana, and it's still good. You can taste the French oak.
Right.
This, you lose a bit of the Amburana. You don't taste the graham as much, but it seems sweeter. Like, not maple sweeter, just sweeter.
Yeah, I agree. The sweetness lasts longer throughout, whereas with the without aging in the barrel, it just drops off.
Right.
The sweetness lingers, like a brown sugar, vanilla, like a cookie, like a cookie taste.
Yeah, it does. It does stay on your palate. So, there's that.
And they mentioned like you can keep aging, you can keep pouring other. Phil's been experimenting. He dumped Jack Bonded into there. I mean, we both love. I'm going to say it. Hold your ears. I hate Jack Daniels. I hate Jack Daniels. If I drink Jack Daniels, my head twitches. Like I can't.
Yeah, but you're old number 7, and that's a mix. To me, it's good by itself, but most people mix it because it's like Maker's Mark. You know, it's a distinct process that they use. You know, Jack isn't considered a bourbon because they do a separate process that they don't want to be. They don't want to be considered a bourbon because of this process. They want to be known for filtering, charcoal filtering. So that's what they promote. It's still a bourbon. It meets all the criteria for a bourbon.
Does it? It's a 50% corn mash?
50 couple percent corn. American white oak barrels made in America, aged for 2 years or longer. The 12 years by far better than.
So yeah, that's what I hate Jack. Jack 12 is a different animal.
Yeah.
So Phil was trying to make Jack 12. He dumped.
Well, I wanted to get something that you could get every day. We found our bottles of Jack.
We were lucky.
And we can't find them again.
Right.
Right. So
2024 was a good year for finding bourbon.
So I took Bonded because I'm a fan of Bonded. I like the proof.
And I
like the taste. Put it in my barrel. 2 weeks later, I'm like tasting it. It's like Amburana, Amburana, Amburana.
Wait, you got the residual Amburana?
Yes. Because it was still soaked into the barrel. I didn't wash my barrel out, let it dry, rehydrate it. You know, I rinsed it. I rinsed my barrel out. I think 2 days later, I filled it with Bonded. Yeah, it's good. I'm happy with it. But the first time I tasted it, there was you knew it had Amburana in it. Now that it aged longer, you don't taste that Amburana. It still has a hint of flavor, but I know because I would be like, I'm tasting Amburana, and then I'm going to taste my Jack. Yep, there's a hint of it.
Gotcha. And he mentioned, so he said like once we age, like the 3 bottles we got and we dumped in there, he said once you age bourbon in there once, and I'm going to disagree with Caleb, all respect. Once you age a bourbon in there once, you shouldn't age a bourbon in there again. And maybe because what you're saying, because he said most people then just like use it for like old fashioned, like you just dump.
Yeah, they'll put whatever in there and make an old fashioned where you're not.
Right, like mix everything in the bitters and the sweets and like just. And I've seen that at a bar. Like they have a barrel sitting and they're like, "You want an old fashioned?" And they just turn the tap. It's all in there because then you're taking what's in the wood and imparting that into whatever you've dumped in there with the sugars.
And every day they'll fill it up, or when it gets low, they'll fill it back up with whatever bourbon they want to use for an old fashioned. And it's more the nostalgic, the look of it, the coolness of having a mini barrel on your bar. But because it is white oak and it is charred, you can reuse it. You know, they say that if what I would do now, knowing that I had 2 Amburana and a French oak, I would have got more. So the first time you might aged it, say, for 30 days. The second time it might have took 60 days to get the same profile. Over time.
That's a long time.
Well, I said maybe 60. I
see what you're saying, though. Yeah.
If you get a barrel, keep the same thing in that barrel. If you want to try something else, get a new barrel. That way you're really getting...
Oysters Rockefeller over here buying barrels left and right. And they ain't cheap.
I want a 10-liter barrel.
Oh, gee.
That's my...
You know Rebecca's going to watch this at some point, right?
Yeah, I know.
You want me to cut that out?
No, but I'm spoiled. If I find one for a good price, she would give me permission. I hope.
Fuck.
But I'd have to buy 2 because...
You don't have to buy me a barrel.
So back to RD1.
Yeah, RD1. Yeah, none of this is making the cut.
If you find it on your shelf, like I made comment that it's not in every state, and RD1's website does have a list of states that they're in.
Yes.
They're a growing company. They're putting the product out there as fast as they can. That the ambassador goes to every new store that gets their product and does an event type, like a tasting, whatever. Great people, great product. Yeah, if you can find it, try it.
100%.
You won't be disappointed.
I was impressed when the ambassador that was sitting on the couch. He said, "Where are you guys from?" We said, "Illinois." "Go to Benny's." Like he knew off the top of his head where to find his product in your state. That was impressive.
Because he goes to wherever they distribute to, he'll go there and do a sampling.
100% agree with Phil. It is criminal. This stuff is not more popular. It is damn good. The price point is good. It's not too far on either spectrum. It's not too sweet. Well, the maple's sweet.
Yeah.
But the Amburana and the French oak, Amburana by far a star. Don't listen to the internet. I know the Amburana hate. This stuff is an amazing experience compared to other bourbons that are out there.
Right.
Phil said, how many bottles have you bought now?
I'm on my third Amburana.
3?
Yeah, they have really good product. They take the time and experiment with it.
Oh, yeah, so the verdict, 100% yes. Like, if you find RD1 on a shelf, especially the Amburana, we both agree, pick it up. It is fantastic. Share it with your friends. Tell everyone about it. This place is awesome. The new facility, no doubt, is going to be great. Yeah, we would both go back down.
Yeah, and I think we should make it a point to go down and talk to them about videoing something, not necessarily a live stream, but making a video of their facility, their new product, if they have any, their old product that's extremely well put together. They put a lot of thought into it. They must really love bourbon, is all I can say, because they're not pushing a product that's everything's amazing.
Oh, 100%. They're doing it right. And whoever their master distiller or whoever, they are doing it right. And that process that they have works 100%. And if they patented it, great. If you didn't, fucking patent it right now because it works.
I think they have it all patent pending.
Yes. Thank you so much. We've got we've got an episode coming up. I suspect it's going to be our highest watched episode. We're going to do a blind tasting with Pappy versus Poor Man Pappy. Phil fixed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I suspect this is going to be our highest viewed episode because Pappy is so hype. If you can make Pappy at home, people are going to be all about it.
Yeah, but we already had an episode about Pappy. And
yeah, Van Winkle. The Van Winkle 12-year lot B.
Yeah.
People tell us all the time, oh, yeah, 20 years ago or 10 years, I'd buy it for $30. Blah, 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 blah.
Met a guy that bought a bottle of 23-year Pappy for $75.
Shut the.
Still has it.
Oh, yeah, you told
it's
me
open.
About this.
I'm like,
we're going to his house next.
Right, yeah. He invited me.
Okay.
I invited him to mine.
So the previous episode was the Van Winkle 12-year. When Phil found it, he took a picture of him finding it. And this guy, so did you buy it? No, I took a picture and I didn't fucking buy it.
That was one of my buddies, yeah.
Oh, that was a different guy?
Yeah,
okay.
It was a different guy.
All right. So, yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe. That right now is the most impact to what we can do. Tell your friends about it. Leave a comment. Loving the interaction. If you've already subscribed, thank you. Thank you so much.
And you won't hurt our feelings if you call us idiots. We're good with that. That's part of the thing, But if you can find RD1, go for it. Try it. You won't be disappointed, All
right. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Please like it, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much to everyone who has already subscribed. We genuinely appreciate it. We got more stuff coming out. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Have a good one.